I've been told that I've been tethered. The last few masses I've been wandering, but I have to stay the length of the altar. So I may look like a caged animal, but if I get out, I won't bite. The gospel is a series of stories by Jesus to try and get his disciples to understand what the kingdom of heaven is like, what God the Father is like. They're not stories that really speak to us, so I'm going to try and give you some new insights into the kingdom and into God our Father. Jeremy Joel was a very, adventurous 5-year-old. I'm sure you've met a few of those. Jeremy Joel was very unhappy because no one, he said, was paying attention to him. So after lunch, he decided to run away. And knowing that running away would be difficult, he packed 2 cans of root beer and 2 Twinkies and took off across the street, forbidden, into the park. And there, on a park bench, sat a grandpa. Now, Jeremy Joel knows you're not supposed to talk to strangers, but this looked like a nice grandpa. So he crawled up onto the bench and said to him, "Hello, Grandpa. My name is Jeremy Joel. I am running away from home." And the grandpa asked, "Why are you running away from home?" And he said, "No one pays any attention to me. They're always telling me what to do. Tell me when to get up and when to go to bed. They tell me when I have to wash my face. They tell me that I can't play with some people. I said, I'm just tired of it." And he said, "What are you doing, Grandpa?" "I'm running away from home." "Why?" "Same reasons you are." And so they talked for a while, and Jeremy Joel realized he was getting thirsty. So he took out one of his root beers and remembered that, it's not nice not to share. So he gave root beer to the grandpa. And then he thought he was hungry too, so he took out a Twinkie, gave one to the grandpa. And they spent the afternoon talking about life. Jeremy Joel realized that he was hungry and the sun was going down. So he told the grandpa, "I am going home now, and I will run away tomorrow." So he got home, and his mom asked him, "Jeremy Joel, what have you been doing all afternoon?" Now, she knew because the kitchen window looked right out onto the park. And he said, "Mom, I had the most incredible afternoon. I shared my root beer and Twinkies with God. And he's much older than I thought he would be." When Grandpa got home, his son asked him, "Where have you been?" And he said, "I spent the afternoon drinking root beer and eating Twinkies with God. He's a lot younger than I thought he would be." I met a young couple. They invited me to their home for dinner. They had a little 4-year-old daughter. And I was sitting in the living room, waiting for everything to come together, when this little head peeked around the corner. Disappeared. A couple seconds later, disappeared. Third time, she came walking out with a doll under her arm. Trying to make conversation, I asked her, "Do you have any more dolls?" Only an old celibate would ask a little girl if she had any more dolls. The army came out. We had dolls that were this big and dolls that were her size and wearing her clothes. Again, trying some more conversation, I asked her if she had a favorite doll. And she looked at me with those great big little girl eyes and said, "Do you love dollies?" "Yes." Hands on hips. "Do you really love dollies?" "Yes, I do. Some of my favorite people are dollies." That's okay, it was wasted on her too. It was such a good joke. She left and came back. She had the most decrepit thing I'd ever seen. The arms were out of the sockets, the legs were drooping, one eye was permanently closed, most of the hair had been loved off, her mouth was gone, and all she had was rags. I'm looking around at all these dolls, and I go to her, "Why is that your favorite doll?" She looked up at me, as only a little girl can, with the eyes that say, "For an old person, you aren't very smart, are you?" And then she said, "If I didn't love her, no one else would. If I didn't love her, no one else would." God loves you like a little girl loves her favorite doll.